Hello, my pretties. A thrifty bride here from a thrifty bride shop. Just wanted to say hello. And also, I wanted to talk about a couple topics now that we are fast approaching the spring in the northern states. And we're also getting into the warmer weather in some of the southern states. And all across the country and all across the world, we are gearing up towards getting ready to be married. Congratulations to all of you who have been working on getting your wedding organized, and you have been out here trying to pinch pennies, save a dime, save a buck here and there, trying to come up with the ultimate ideas. My hair's a mess, girls. Bear with me. Um, and so, yeah. So let's talk about this a little bit. So let's say we have a budget of about, I want to say 5,000. And that's on the high end for some of us brides. 5,000, that's a pretty good amount. But where are you going to allocate it? Where are you going to place that money? Are you going to blow it all on your dress? Do you want a dress that's like maybe $2,000, $3,000, $1,500? Or are you going to use a majority of it for your venue? And if you do get the venue, is the food going to be included? Or are you going to have a separate budget for the catering? Are you going to go with a local restaurant that caters? Or are you going to go with your family member that cooks delicious food? And so these are some of the things that we think about when we're budget wedding planning. Throughout the years and all the different scenarios and all the different weddings that I have assisted brides with, we tend to do the most we can with the least amount of money. And with that being said, so we would get very creative with the venue because venues can be very expensive. If you've been out there shopping for venues, I know that they can be very expensive, and I don't blame them, most of them, because it is lavish some places, and some places are including the food, they're including the drinks, and so these things can add up. So to keep the cost down, and if we're summer brides or spring brides, then we should consider having an outdoor wedding. And so, outdoor weddings, there's also some things to consider besides the fact that it'll be more affordable for your pocket, but you have to take other things into consideration. And one of the biggest things that we have to take into consideration when we're having an outdoor wedding is the wind. Yes, the wind. It's a huge factor. In a beach wedding, the wind is huge. It has everything to do with your dress flowing a certain way, if you're wearing a veil, your ornaments, your decorations, your arch, if it's draped or laced. And so the sand, right? If we're at a park and it's windy, the leaves, the brush, it all depends. So wind is a very serious thing to look at. And I know we don't control that because that's all in God's hands, but we can kind of go with the weather and kind of plan ahead just in case something like that were to happen. It's just like with the rain. What is going to be our plan B in case our plan A backfires for whatever reason? Well, we're going to have to think about it. Is this place that we're having our outdoor wedding located in the proximity of a place where we can bring it indoors? Will there be an extra fee for that? Can we even do that? Can we put a tent up just in case? Can the tent have side clear walls that come down to shelter us from the elements. And even then, it'll still be way more affordable. And I tell you, I love tent weddings. Tent weddings are absolutely beautiful, and they're getting really creative with them. White tents with drapery, a nice, beautiful ornament, chandelier, balloon element. You can get very creative, ladies. Even a floral piece can be in the center of that tent. And so, and it'll still be way more affordable. If you're having a barn, hey, there can be someone in your area, right? In your proximity, in your neighborhood, that has a nice sized barn, that is a nice barn that you're able to have a outdoor indoor wedding, right? And so, and it will be a lot less expensive. And I know that's redundant, but it'll be way less. Here, redundant again, right? But you get the point. It'll be inexpensive. And that 5,000, because we're still working off of our 5,000, we're going to go to brides that are even less than that. But right now we're at a $5,000 wedding. So a little chunk of that went into our venue or outdoor space, or renting a little barn or a nice big garage from our friends and hooking that up. Decorating our own backyard, our mama's backyard, if they have a nice size space, renting the chairs, the tables, a couple of tents, right? That's going to be amazing. That's going to be an amazing wedding already. And it's going to be a little chunk of that 5,000. Then we said we factored in the food, so you got to factor a couple hundred, if not maybe 600-700, depending on how many people you're having, for your food and drinks. If you have a dry wedding where there's no liquor involved, then get creative with that. You know, have a nice punch, you know, and punch is always nice. A non-alcoholic punch if you're not into the alcoholic beverages. Have you some margaritas, non-alcoholic. You can have you a nice smoothie section, you know, where those are cute, and they can decorate those with cherry and, you know, celery, or just make the element of it being a nice bar area, but dry. No liquor if you're having a no liquor wedding. If you are having a liquor wedding, you can keep it to the minimal. Get you the minimal stuff. The more variety you have, the more expensive it gets. Let it be simple. Wine, it could be nice wine. It could be some mimosas. It could be, here again, a punch, but with the alcohol in it, and it's already prepared, and it just keeps flowing from the fountain. Have you maybe a couple of beers, 1 or 2 in variety. You know, save there, because what happens is we spend too much on those things. And do we wind up having enough to get away for the honeymoon, which is what really matters? What really matters is the bride and the groom, the two parties that are getting married, that they be able to go away and celebrate what just happened, right? And so, okay, so we're at the food, we have the venue, we're going to go ahead and do it outdoors or indoors. We have a plan A, a plan B, if everything fails, or if nothing fails, we still have that great plan, right? So then we go into decorations. And so a majority of the weddings are going to have decorations, whether they be floral decorations, whether they be lace and backdrops and arches, and nowadays they have so many things. Trees, those big cherry blossom trees that are out now, vases in the middle of the table. I say go with the vases. I say go with the crystal, the clear vases, and I'll show you, I think I have some videos in the feed here, but the clear vases with the water, with the crystals, with the floating candle, flameless floating candle. Beautiful element. You can even put a flower of the color of your wedding in it. And I'm going to be showing you girls how to do something like that coming up shortly here on the next video or so, okay? It's very easy, very pretty. You can do 1, 2, 3 vases on the table to keep the budget low, and it still looks very elegant and very pretty. And I'm going to show you that in the next video. And it's very cost effective. Walk with me, ladies. Walk with me, because I forgot I had something. I'm recording from home, as everyone is for now. And so, something is burning. Hello, my pretties. And so, yeah. So, like I was saying, you're going to... oops, the sun is... So you're going to be getting very creative with your centerpieces on the tables. You're going to get the most elegant things that you can for less. I would recommend silk flowers. But if you love fresh cuts and you absolutely must have fresh cuts, then by all means. But know that fresh cuts are going to cost you more. It's going to eat up a big chunk of your budget. And that's something that's taste specific. It's up to you. If you want fresh cuts, by all means. If you want to allocate a big chunk of your budget for that, that's fine too, ladies. But I would say go with the silks. Go with the silk. Unless you're in a venue that includes the flowers and they happen to be fresh cut, then hey, wonderful. But if not, oops, sorry. Sorry, girls. It's just acting up right now. Yes, so like I was saying, budget is key. Allocating it into the proper areas is very important. $5,000 wedding, trying to figure out which areas you want to allocate more money into as opposed to other areas. Fresh cut flowers, if it's included with the venue or if you get a great price with a florist, get creative, with them. Raffle them off if they're yours to keep at the end of the event. Start raffling them off. Do a 50-50 or, raffle those pretty centerpieces, and that money goes towards the honeymoon money that you're going to need to get away at the end of the event. And people, usually your guests, are more than happy to partake in raffles because they want something, or, usually those are pretty arrangements. And so, yeah, of course, people are going to want to partake in that. And that's a good way of funding yourself for the end there, for when you get ready to run away at the end of the evening, or if you're leaving in a week, a day or so on your honeymoon. It's always good to have little raffles going throughout. Also, now we're talking about, we said get creative with the menu. Keep it simple, keep it simple, keep it elegant, keep it nice, hearty, but simple, and depending on the type of wedding you're having. The attire, your dress. Coming from a lady who knows, because I sell tons of dresses, and I know that brides, they absolutely want to look like $1 million, but don't necessarily want to spend and blow their whole budget on that, because you can have brides that are even trying to get married on way less than $5,000. And so if you can find you a nice quality dress, and I'm not giving you towards www.athrifty.brideshop.com. I'm not. Shop around, look around, go into the Goodwills. Hey, you can find you a nice dress in there. It might not be brand new, or then again it might, but you can have it dry cleaned. You got to get creative with your budget, especially if you're working on a really, really low budget. And there's nothing wrong and there's no shame in working in a low budget. That is the budget you have, and you too can have a beautiful wedding. And so getting creative with your budget is key. Trying to think outside the box is key. Trying to keep those keepsakes minimal, because half the time some people even leave the keepsakes. And that's why I always say make the centerpieces the keepsakes if they're not rented. And here again, raffle them off so you can get a little bit of that money back. Keep your attire, your dress, your shoes, your accessories as minimal as possible. And the groom or the partner, the significant other, keep them as minimal as possible too. Because I always say that the most important part of the wedding is the honeymoon. Where are we going? Start looking into that. There's so many deals now, so many offers that you can take. You can go on a cruise. You can go to a bed and breakfast. You can go to an Airbnb. You can get away, to a certain part of your state for the weekend. There's so much. Get creative. Look on Groupon. Go to Priceline. There's different things that you can do for your wedding honeymoon to save you some money, but you got to factor that in, because I've also seen it where they've gotten married and they didn't go nowhere, and that's not the way to begin. Trust me, that's not the way to begin. You want to be able to go off and enjoy yourself and feel wonderful and reminisce of what just happened. Okay, and we're going to come back and we're going to talk about some more in our next video. So make sure to subscribe, make sure to like, and make sure to leave a comment for other brides. I'm always asking you ladies, leave comments for other brides. What did you do? How did you come about? What was your budget? There's no shame with us. We're all budget brides. So please, please, please comment. Let me know, what did you do? Even put pictures up. And let's keep the thread going. Let's talk about it. Let's see if we can help another bride who might be stuck with her budget, thinking that she doesn't even have enough for something, not knowing that she absolutely does. Okay, my pretties, I will talk to you real soon.